Hello friends, welcome back to Notebook. Do you know Rohan and Irfan? Well, these kids live close to us and study in the same school. The two are the best of buddies. So nice to have friends, isn't it? During the last holidays, Rohan traveled to Durgapur to stay with his grandparents for a few days. Irfan went to Coimbatore to attend a family wedding and stayed with his uncle and aunt. As Rohan went for a walk with his grandpa one morning, he saw a huge complex with office buildings and factories. He had never seen anything like that earlier. Hundreds of people were either going in or coming out of the gates. "What's that, Grandpa?" asked little Rohan. "That's the Durgapur steel plant," Rohan said his grandpa. "Steel plant? What does it do?" asked Rohan again. "Well, that's where steel is manufactured, Rohan," said his grandpa, smiling at his questions. "You mean steel like this?" asked Rohan, pointing at the steel saucepan in which tea was being brewed in a nearby shop. "That's right, my boy," said Grandpa. "Okay, but what's the meaning of that word you used? I mean manufacturing," asked the ever-curious Rohan. "I will try to explain as we have some tea and samosas in that shop," said Grandpa. And so, Grandpa took Rohan to the tea shop for tea and some delicious samosas. "Oh, I'm feeling hungry already." "Manufacturing," said Grandpa while munching on a samosa, "is the production of goods in large quantities after processing raw materials into more valuable products using manual labor, machines, tools, and processes as necessary." Where does steel come from? That's a question in your mind, isn't it? You are not alone because Rohan had the same question too. Steel is manufactured from iron ore, just like paper is manufactured from wood and aluminium is manufactured from its ore called bauxite, said Grandpa. But don't get confused. Let's start from the beginning. And so, my friends, we shall learn about the meaning and importance of manufacturing, its contribution to the national economy, on what basis decisions are taken about selecting a location to set up an industry, the different types of industries, and lastly, industrial pollution. Grandpa, with his vast experience, will explain everything to Rohan. So let's just listen to him from the ringside, shall we? Manufacturing, in which raw materials are processed into finished goods, comes under the secondary sector of economy. The other two sectors are the primary sector, which covers extraction of raw materials, and the tertiary sector, which includes services like insurance, banking, tourism, etc. The more your country's manufacturing activities, the more your country's finished products in terms of quantity and range, the more developed your country is considered to be. Many people think that industry and agricultural do not go together. That's a very wrong concept. "What's inside that samosa you're eating, Rohan?" "Potato, Grandpa," said Rohan. "Right," said Grandpa. "But where are potatoes stored?" "In huge cold storages. Someone manufactures them, surely. So the manufacturing industry helps agriculture," said Rohan. "Yes, it does," continued Grandpa. "Manufacturing industry also provides agriculture with tractors, tools, irrigation pumps, pipes, pesticides, fertilizers, and so many other things. But agriculture helps industry too. Agro-based industries like cotton, jute, and sugar cannot function without agricultural output. How much does industry contribute to our economy, and of that, how much does manufacturing industry? Industry contributes 27% to our GDP, of which 17% is contributed by manufacturing industry, and the balance 10% comes from mining, quarrying, electricity, and gas. Let us join Grandpa once again. He is going to tell us how a site for an industry is chosen. Choosing a location for any industry is a critical task. for it affects the industry in every possible way. The availability of raw materials, labor, water, electricity, transportation, and government policies are some factors on which this decision is based. Simply put, these factors can be summed up as cost of procuring raw materials, cost of production, and cost of distribution. Industrialization leads to urbanization. Urbanization gives rise to services and facilities like banking, insurance, transport, labor, consultants, and recreation. Several industries are then set up in or around these urban centers to access these facilities and services, giving rise to agglomerations economies, which can lead to reduced costs and increased efficiencies for all. The IT hub in the Silicon Valley, California, is a great example of this. We shall join Grandpa and Rohan again in the next video. Till then, do go through the notes and question bank, compiled especially for you.